I'm Taylor with Eithera brand, and we are happy to be bringing you our exploration of Anahata, the heart energy today in our Living Colorfully series, a splash into learning about the chakra energy for new beginners and ways professionals are engaging and supporting that energy to be more authentically them. We are exploring the bright, beautiful green heart energy today. This chakra is about romantic and familial love, long-lasting, unselfish, freeing love, and this energy represents a beautiful balance between your upper and lower chakras. I'm so excited today because we have Annie Way, who is a love mindset and manifesting coach, to kind of speak to us about this beautiful energy. And I'm just so thankful that you're here, Annie. So can you tell us a little bit more about what your background is and let us know, who you are, what's going on, and how we can utilize this beautiful energy?
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Annie, and I'm basically the founder and creator of Manifest Love Academy, which is there to help people. And the heart energy is such a beautiful energy because it's one of those energies that we connect with so much as humans, and we can feel it when it comes to love. And you feel it when you're with your family or with your significant other. And it's one of those energies that you can just kind of pinpoint and describe. And it's very close to happiness, joy, just unconditional love. Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about your background? Like, what led you to be a love mindset and manifesting coach?
Yeah, so I've had quite a journey where in the beginning, I was one of those people or person that's really just very much into love, right? I grew up and that was just completely on my mind. And at the time it was all about boys and growing up was all about boys. And it was to a point where all my friends came to me for love advice. And I was just that go-to person that they talked to for that kind of sort of thing. And so as I was growing older, I've had a very traumatic experience with a person that I was dating for a little bit. And of course that led me to spirituality. And I started with finding out, like, there must be a better way. Like, there's no way I'm stuck with this anxiety and just insomnia and depression. There has to be a better way. And that's when I found law of attraction, right? And that's when I got into the spiritual realm and all about going on this quest to really discover who I am, and as well as just love in general. And I didn't realize it, but everything kind of went back to love. And it was one of those things where it's like, aha, that's exactly what it is. It was something that I was kind of, let's say, obsessed with for a while, and also obsessed with helping others for a while. So it felt like a natural progression to help others as like a profession, right? As a career. And I absolutely enjoy it. Just seeing just my clients' faces light up when like their person texts them, and where they have a date and they manifest a date. And it's just one of those things where you're just like, wow, like everyone wants love. Everyone wants to be loved. It's one of those amazing feelings that makes us human.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about, what this particular style of love is like?
Yeah, so this particular style of love is I would like to say it's very unconditional, right? So conditional love is very much like, okay, you text me and I'm suddenly very happy, or you ask me out on a date and I'm very happy. So unconditional love comes from this pure place of, okay, I'm in my own internal world. I make myself happy. And it's very much tied to self-love, where you give that love to yourself and it's not dependent on anybody else. See, when your love is dependent on someone else, then it becomes very, very conditional, right? It gets to a point where that person has to do something, or a certain event has to happen in order for you to be happy. But when you come from the heart space and really connecting with that self-love, that unconditional love, then it's you having that love and then you're spreading it out to everyone else so that you can choose that love instead of reacting to if you get that love.
Oh, amazing. That's so cool. So what kind of spiritual practices have you embarked on or practiced?
Yeah, so I like to say I'm kind of seasoned in that area, where I've done meditations. I went to South America to learn from a shaman just because I just had to, right? Because it was one of those things where I had to follow my intuition, and that's where it led me. I've done Reiki, so I'm a Reiki practitioner as well. I've done EFT. So I've I've dabbled in so many different things just to find what my modality was. And I've translated all of that into coaching to help others as well. Yeah.
And when you were working on that, shamanism or with the shaman and then EFT and, with the Reiki, what did you learn about love with each of those kind of modalities?
Yeah, so with each of them, they're all very similar in a way when they talk about love. That love is just one of those core feelings. And I like to think about this way when it comes to spirituality. Everything that you've ever learned about spirituality always comes back to love, right? Love is just one of those things that is like a core principle vibration. And if you ever looked at like a vibrational frequency chart, love is always like at the top next to joy. Love, joy, peace. That's where it is. It's all the way at the top. Because when you feel that love, you become light. You feel like you're connected to the divine. You're happy. Everything just flows. And it's that flowing energy that's really what all these spiritual modalities all about, right? It's getting into that flow, tapping into the flow. And with Reiki, it's all about channeling that flow. So when it comes to these energy modalities, it's all about connecting with love. And that's what makes it so exciting, because everything always comes back to that loving energy.
Oh, that's amazing. So can you tell us a little bit more about like what your chosen modality looks like?
Yeah, so what I do is coaching, and I do energy coaching. So when I speak to a client, it's all about just kind of seeing where their energy is. So the way I do it is I talk to somebody and they'll tell me what's going on, whether that's, something that's happened before, something that's happening currently, whatever's triggering them. And I kind of guide them through this process of coaching where they're able to shift what they're going through, and then they raise their vibration up, right, to that loving energy again and tapping into that energy. So incorporating that energetic coaching and alongside with just channeling whatever it is that comes through. So I incorporate Reiki in the way where I channel what comes through intuitively to help guide my clients, and as well as incorporating tapping. So I teach them a little bit about tapping and breath work and just everything that they need to get to that loving energy again, to connect with that.
Can you tell us a little bit more about tapping? It's not something that we've explored on Eithera yet.
Yeah, so tapping is actually it's one of those techniques where it's very bodied control, right? So you have some things are more just purely energy, but with tapping, it's all about connecting your body to the energy. So it's a great tool in terms of using it to help shift that negative energy. So energy, we would like to say, is emotion. So your emotion is basically energy in motion, right? So when you have these blockages, it gets stuck within like your pressure points and your chakras. So what tapping does is simply just moving through that energy so that it's able to flow through again. So it's no longer stuck. You're no longer feeling that, negative emotion. So tapping basically incorporates like acupressure points. So let's say it's, yeah. So it's mostly like top of the head, like on the eyebrows, just these like pressure points that's needed. So then when you're tapping through, you're kind of unblocking yourself. So it's very closely related to acupuncture and acupressure. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. And so what is it like when, a client contacts you and they want to, learn more about what you've got going on? Like, is it, online coaching, or what's it like right now?
Yeah, so right now it's right now it's very much virtual coaching. And that's how it is, right? Because I work with clients all over the world. I have clients in Australia, I have clients in like New Jersey, but just all over the world. And virtually they're able to just come together. So I train them in my master classes, and then they're able to go, wow, okay. And if they're in my course program, which we have, basically you learn all the things that you need, because it's very much knowledge based. And once you're able to learn that, there's also coaching calls that they come on and be like, hey, like I learned this, like how can I apply this into my life? And so it's more personalized. So you have that balance of coaching and courses. So then you're able to just incorporate the knowledge in your life and really just grow, and you're able to manifest that person that you want to be with from that loving energy. Yeah.
That's awesome. So what kind of people should be coming to you? Like at what point, what stage in their journey are they, primed and ready to come talk to you?
Yeah. So I worked with anyone who is very much deeper into spirituality, someone who has more knowledge, or someone who's in the beginning stages, right? Who just wants to get back to the basics and really just want to learn what law of attraction and manifesting is. Because you have so much information on the internet, sometimes even seasoned law of attraction, manifester would get confused because you might be watching one YouTube video and then another, and you're like, they're telling me two different things. What is it? So you get confused, right? So for me, it's more just anyone who doesn't want to waste time anymore, just trying to figure out on their own and wants that guidance from someone who's kind of learned a lot about life. And yeah, that coaching so that they're able to apply it and get to what they want faster.
I love that. I actually kind of heard something that you said in there. You were like inflammation on the internet. And I just love that idea that like there's a lot of conflicting information that's causing like kind of a inflammation of, I don't know, energy, which is so interesting, like a blockage essentially.
Yeah, because you think that, okay, well, I'm going to do all this research on something and figure it out on my own. But then when you're doing it on your own, there's too much information where you're like, what? Like you Google something and there's like 20 articles, but they're all talking about different things. And then you get confused because you have no idea what's actually true or not. Mm-hmm. And most people just end up giving up, right?
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on there and I think like one of the things is you really have to find what resonates with you. Mm-hmm. And it really comes back to like that empowerment, that self-love of like, you know what, you have to trust that what path you should take. And I think that that's super important. And it kind of speaks to what you were saying about like how, the heart energy is all about like this selfless and selfish in a way, love, but selfish for yourself,
Yeah. I don't like to say selfish. I want to say self-full because selfish has such like a horrible, it's such a bad, connotation, right? That, I'm only thinking about myself. But the thing is that you have to think about yourself. You have to take care of yourself in order to take care of others. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then you get burned out. Then you're not really doing any justice to other people. Yeah. So when you're able to take care of yourself and come from the place of happiness and love, then everyone else just kind of vibrates along with you.
And so what have you seen? What's been the most incredible thing that you've seen through your clients as you've gone through kind of helping them to manifest their partners?
Yeah, so I've seen incredible transformations. Like I've seen clients who are basically just at a very low point in their life where they're just like bogged down by triggers and just limiting beliefs and fears and doubts. Because when you're in that state, any little thing from someone that you date would just set you off and you're all of a sudden just like sad and depressed and whatnot. So, and then after working with them, they start to grow and they come from this unconditional place of love and passion and just really giving them self-love first. And once they start to give them self-love, they're able to attract that love within them. And I've seen clients manifest like text messages and contact from that person like within one phone call, and transformations within 3 months where they're just like in that happy place where they're like, I'm completely okay with everything. And I'm able to choose my response instead of reacting to what the heck is going on in my reality, and just coming from a place of happiness. And when they're doing that, they become so magnetic to their person, to whoever they want to attract, because that person thinking, wow, I want to be in that world because she's fun, she's happy, she's loving herself, she's positive. I'm missing out on something clearly, so I want to be with her. So you become so magnetic to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. But what if you're trying to attract someone who isn't good for you?
Yeah. So when you're attracting someone who isn't good for you, you'll know, right? Because the more you spend time on just improving yourself, improving your own life, feeling that love, that person will either just walk away or just fall away. And you won't even feel sad about it because you're in that place of confidence and trust that no matter what happens, I know that I'm meant to be with somebody and I know that person is coming. So if it's not you, that's fine because I know someone better is coming. So when you're in that confidence, it doesn't matter if that person is right or wrong because you know that you're going to be with that right person. So that person will either just, vibrate away and just go away naturally on their own. and then you just end up meeting someone else that's actually so much better for you. So you'll know if that person is right or wrong just by kind of writing that out, right?
Yeah. That's so, I love how you kind of have walked us through like your process. It sounds like you really focus on this beautiful like self-healing, self-love, self-full love.
Yeah.
And really kind of getting them into this place where their heart shines, right? Where that energy just comes out, and it's bright and it's fresh and it's growing, right? Like the green energy, like plant, energy. But then from there, you get them to that place to where their radiance can't help but shine and attract their partner. And I think that that's like so interesting, that it's not just about curating and radiating the energy, but like concentrating it so much on yourself that you can't help but let it go.
And it will naturally. So I like to think about it as like a cup, right? So when you're filling the cup with water, it just spills out. It'll just spill out to everything around it. But when you have a half empty cup, where are you getting water from? You're desperately trying to get water from somewhere else. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So is there a way that we can kind of interact with this modality as new seekers, this heart energy? Do we have any immediate takeaways that we can give a try?
Absolutely. So if you're open to it, we can walk through some kind of like a meditation visualization real quick to really tap into that energy.
Let's do
So
it.
I'm going to close my eyes, and I invite everyone to just take a deep breath. And if your eyes are not closed, just close your eyes and really just settle down the body and take another deep breath in and out. And then start to drop your attention to your heart. Start to feel your heartbeat. Feel that sound, feel that energy, just hear it beating. And then start to recall a memory of when you felt love. And this can be any memory, whether it's with your family members, whether it's with your significant other, or any other time that you've ever felt that loving energy. And just feel it within your heart. And this can be like a warmth in your heart, or just simply a little shiny feeling. And you might even feel a smile come across your face. And just let that happen. Just focus in on that beautiful, loving energy in your heart. And then ask yourself, what are you grateful for? And whatever comes up, just let it come up. And then focus in on that energy in your heart. And then take a deep breath in. And then just feel that heart energy just spread through your body, and seeing that just spread into your room or wherever you are, just spreading outside and just growing bigger and bigger. And the light is spreading all over the world, that you're sending that loving energy all over the world. And then take a deep breath in, and then let everything go. Yeah. And then come back to the present moment. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. Yeah, how was that?
Cool. That was great. I feel so, I don't know, open and loving.
Yeah, and it's just something quick that you can always do whenever you want to just tap into that loving energy, right? And it's just recall a memory and just reconnect with it. And you want to use your past as kind of a tool to just tap in and align with that feeling again. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And I love that, this is something that people can come back to. And like, if they're just feeling a little down, that they can be like, you know what? I know something that's going to make me better. I can recenter into like the things of love, like love in general. I can tap into that feeling again. Like you're saying, this happened.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like a little tool in your toolbox, right? That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. That's so cool. And then, so why does this matter? Like, why does it, obviously, the heart energy, people, I feel like intuitively understand that, you crave and need love.
Mhm.
But why does it matter for people to connect to to this energy for, any of our new seekers?
Yeah, so it's why it matters is because you want to get to a place where everything just kind of happens, right? Where you're in that place where you can say, wow, miracles just happen naturally, right? Where you're just attracting everything that you want and anything that you want, where you're just kind of manifesting from that place and things are just happening for you, where you're in the flow and you're aligning and everything just happening. And it all connects back to that heart space, right? When you're connecting back into love, when you're connecting into that, you just manifest your desires like instantly because you're tapped into that high vibration, that high feeling, that good feeling. And if you've ever noticed in your life, anytime you feel good, amazing things just happen, right? Out of the blue. And that's really it. You're just connecting with that emotion, that loving feeling, and anything you want will just happen. Yeah.
What's been one of the coolest things that's happened in your life where you're just like feeling that like absolute joy, that bliss, and like something amazing just popped up?
Yeah, I have so many interesting things. So I'm gonna give like small examples. So it can
Yeah.
be like just I think there was that one time where I felt really, really good. And all of a sudden I was just walking and I saw $20 bills on the floor.
What?
No one sees $20 bills on the
Yeah.
floor. And I looked at it and I'm like, what? Is this a joke? But it's not. I was just in that good feeling place. And I was so tapped in that I was the one that noticed that $20, right? Can you imagine how many people walked by that $20 and not even noticed it? So I'm like, interesting. And there's so many little things. Like I was at the right place at the right time to receive a free cookie.
Yeah.
Like I've had so many like Starbucks upgrades for no reason just because they messed up my order and they're like, oh, you can just take it. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
little things like that. It doesn't have to be big. And big things are like, I met my boyfriend in Canada, in Montreal, just because I was suddenly led to go there. And then boom, right? And who would have thought? So it's very interesting what happens when you just go in the flow and just start following that energy.
That is so cool. And so why manifesting and law of attraction? Like how did you kind of come across it specifically?
Yeah. So what happened was that I was basically with someone who was kind of stringing me along, and in that kind of way where he was just like kind of metaphorically feeding me breadcrumbs, right? He's telling me, hey, like you're the only person that I'm seeing. And then I go on Instagram and I'm like, who's this girl that's like posting up pictures of you and her in your house? And I'm like, what? So I had like basically a nervous anxiety breakdown where I was just like, what's going on? What's happening?
They were lying to you. Like,
Yeah. And I'm one of those people that like was naive enough to believe it because I want to believe it because
yeah.
I saw his potential. But then I was at a place where I was just feeling so negative that I was like, all right, so let me just see how to feel better, right? What's something that I can do to feel better? And it started from a Google search and somehow I ended up getting into law of attraction. It was something that I saw was like, one of those articles like how to feel better. Well, you can manifest. And I was like, what's that? And one thing led to another. And I went on YouTube and just watched all these law of attraction videos. And I was hooked. I don't know why, but I was hooked. And from then on, it was like, I just kept learning and learning and learning. And 7 years later, here I am.
Wow. And so it's just all about kind of feeling better, like finding keys and ways to feel better about, where you're at and in order to, be somewhere better for you in the future, kind of, right?
Absolutely. So law of attraction, to the most like basic part of it, is that it's all about feeling better and knowing that you have the power to control your reality, right? Because when you're in that state of, things are happening to you, you feel powerless. You feel like you're out of control. But when you realize that you actually have the power to control what's going on in your reality, that you are the one who's manifesting this, now you're like, I'm empowered. I feel powerful. I'm co-creating, right, with the universe. I can do whatever I want. That makes you just joyful knowing that. And that's when you're able to tap into that. So that's basically what law of attraction is really all about. It's that empowerment and positivity.
Ah, that's amazing. So, we've kind of gone through different ways that people can interact with the heart energy, everything from tapping to visualization to meditation. How can people connect with you? What are you offering that can help people kind of connect to this energy?
Yeah, so I have two things, and whatever people feel connected to, they can definitely check it out. So I have a guide called Single to Loving Relationship with Your Soulmate Guide. It's basically a step-by-step guide for anyone who's new or just seasoned and want to just get back to it. And it's really about that 9 steps on how to manifest that person that you want in your life. So you can get it at, should I show them?
Yeah, no, go for it.
So you can get it at www.anyway.com/soulmate. And then I'm also hosting a free live masterclass. We just dig deeper into it. And it's learning all about, going from single to a relationship with your dream partner. And it's at anyway.com/masterclass. Yeah.
And that's coming up on August 5th, right?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it's so exciting. And
so I'll go ahead and have all of your links down in our, down below, so that everyone can kind of hear about it and figure out what's going on. But can you talk to us a little bit more about how you came up with those 9 steps for your anyway.com/soulmate?
Yeah, so the 9 steps really came from, incorporating my experience and what clients have gone through, and just those core things that you kind of have to think about and know and really just understand in order to move forward, right? So the first step is going to the basics, like, what do you want? You always want to get clear on what you want, right? And then the 9th step is like bringing it into your reality. So it's really about like A to Z on exactly what you need to know. And there's so many different things. And it took a lot of, years and years of wisdom to really just be like, wow, it's really just this simple thing that people have to understand. And it boils down to these 9 things.
Awesome. And is it, only male, female love, or is it just any sort of kind of loving relationship?
Any sort of loving relationship. Love is love. We love everything.
Awesome. And then what about the masterclass? What is that like? Is it is it an email? Are they jumping on a phone call? Like, what does it look like?
Yeah, so it's a webinar where you just come on and where I teach you for 90 minutes, well, probably 60 minutes, but then we also have a Q&A at the end where you just get to learn about, what are the mistakes that people are making that are stopping them from getting that commitment that they really want. And just the 5 steps to really just understand, the core steps to going from single to manifesting your dream partner, right? And also just what's going on, where you're able to understand your attraction power and really attracting that person that you want to be with instead of pushing them away. Instead of you chasing them, they're chasing you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we just dig deeper into all of those elements.
That's amazing. So it's 60 minutes kind of you presenting and sharing, and then 30 minutes where they can kind of interact with you to figure out a little bit more and dive into their individual, kind of things that they want to touch on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. And you also do you do like one-on-one consults too, or is it, just the master classes?
Yeah. So right now I am launching my course it's called Manifest Love Academy, where I have courses and group coaching put together. So it's like an accelerated fast track to getting you what you want. And you're also with this community of like other amazing people who are also manifesting. And it's one of those things where you're like, when you see someone going through the same thing that you are, you feel connected. You're like, I'm not the only one, And on top of that, you're getting coaching and you're getting those knowledge. So simplified knowledge, where it's really just making it easy for you to understand instead of you just, YouTubing everything and just wondering what is what, right? So you're not wasting time, you're getting straight to it. So you just fast track your way to really manifesting that partner, that love that you want.
Oh, that's so cool. I loved talking to you and just kind of, hearing more about like the energy and how you kind of use it in order to, help manifest that person. Before we hop off, can you tell us a little bit about a difference between, I believe it's a twin flame and a soulmate? Because I think that those things kind of come up and they are a little confusing.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting question. A lot of people ask me about this also, and I've had my own personal experiences with twin flame and soulmate. So during my time of researching and whatnot, I've actually manifested my own twin flame and I've manifested my own soulmate, right? So twin flame is very much like, I call it a very chaotic energy where you're just so attracted to this person and that person is attracted to you as well, but so many things come up. They're literally the mirror to your soul. So if you're feeling a certain way where you're just like sad and just unhappy and you're anxious, then you kind of manifest that person who's very avoidant, right? They literally mirror you in a way that you have to go, you have to learn, and you have to grow. So it's very, very spiritual connection. While soulmate energy is a little bit different, where it can be chaotic, but it might not actually be that chaotic either. It's a little more peaceful, where you just kind of meet the person, but you feel like, hey, I've known you from somewhere, and you don't know how or when. And soulmate can be anybody, right? It can be your family member, it can be your friends, and it could be your significant other. And soulmate energy is a lot more peaceful, where you're able to just connect with that person and feel a type of familiarity with that person. Now, it's the same thing with twin flame, where you feel familiar, but things are just coming up like crazy. And you're like, it feels like you're in a roller coaster. But with soulmate, maybe not. Sometimes you might go a little bit, but not as crazy.
Yeah.
So you'll know the difference when you're able to meet your twin flame, where it's just like that up and down crazy path where you're like, I'm so happy when I'm with you. And then, oh my God, I feel horrible. Like you just crash. And so, yeah. So I like to see it as like a more emotional ride. Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think that people will find that to be super helpful as they go about manifesting, and hopefully they manifest a soulmate versus a chaotic twin flame.
Oh, it might not be bad either if they
Yeah,
manifest a twin flame.
it
Some
may
people
teach you,
find
right?
love.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
everything is kind of a learning experience and brings you to that, towards your path of joy, path of love, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. But twin flames are usually the best teachers.
I get that. All right. Thank you so much, Annie, for talking to me today, and for all of our customers too, and all of our listeners. We're so excited to hear about your master classes, and I know people will want to take advantage of that. So again, links are going to be down below, and we will go ahead and say goodbye, but thank you again so much.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed this.
All right. I'll talk to you later.